Hi, my name's Josh Spencer. My wife Karen and I took part recently in a 30-day challenge titled 30-Day Pioneer Diet. And it's the first week of October now. So it's been about 2.5 months since we've completed the challenge. And this is just a recap of what we've been up to since then and answer a few questions and let you know what we've been up to in the meantime. Well, the biggest challenge by far was finding the time to fit it all into our schedule. I've had the pleasure of reading a lot of 30-day challenges over the last several months, and an ongoing theme that everybody seems to talk about is how they're finding time to do it in these busy schedules that human beings have in the 21st century. Trying to figure out whatever your challenge is, it seems like everyone's trying to figure out how to get up early enough or to make time enough to gather and prepare food or organize, whatever it is that the challenge was based around. And that is the ongoing theme that I've been reading on everyone's challenge, and it was no different in ours. Karen and I both lead busy lives. We have children and that have to be at school. We have children that aren't in school that have to be taken care of. My wife works a full-time job. She's extremely busy. We also run a business, and between all of that, we had to find time to gather, hunt, fish, or forage our food. We overcame these challenges by simply making the priority top priority, paramount, was you have to eat, you have to, we had to eat. Our challenge was based around if we weren't, otherwise we were going to fail. So we had to make it a priority. My wife made me go fishing. That was horrible, horrible. By the way, any of you out there who would like to find an excuse to go hunting and fishing more often, the Pioneer 30-Day Challenge is great, because it's great when your wife tells you have to go fishing or you have to go out on a great hike and gather some food. It was fantastic. But that being said, it had to take priority because we had to eat, and so there was some things we had to put on hold. Obviously, make sure the kids are fed and where they need to be. But other than that, every other moment we had to think about what we were going to eat that day, and if we were really on top of it, what we were going to eat tomorrow. Well, the number one question, without a doubt, is how much weight have you gained back since you stopped doing the 30-day challenge? It's been 2.5 months now, and I hadn't even checked until today. I got on the scale and I've gained a whole 8 pounds back out of my, I lost 27 total, and I've gained 8 of that back. My wife, however, has lost additional weight since she's decided to continue on that type of diet, and she feels great doing it, and she's just it's been quite amazing, I think, experience for her, and she's continued on. Well, let's see some of the we'll start with the small lessons first. The small lessons we learned came every single day, learning about what type of plants, what type of berries, what type of weeds we could consume. Learning about the area and what we could and couldn't eat was an ongoing thing, and so there were a lot of little small lessons involved in that, and also a lot of small lessons in how you cook and make meals taste better, and becoming a better canner, ways to preserve food better, and to those were all great small lessons along the way that we learned. As far as the big lessons learned along the way, I think the one that kept repeating itself to me that I realized is if Karen and I weren't working together on a daily basis, it was almost impossible. It would have been impossible to do. Karen was incredibly motivated and supportive, and she really pushed us to do it. And I think a lot of people, a lot of these challenges that I've been reading, when the whole family joins in, I think that's a huge, huge thing. I think if you can do a challenge, that's fantastic. But to do it by yourself, I think it's even a little harder, because you go off to work, or you go off to hang out with your friends or your family, and they're not doing the same thing you are. It's a little tougher. And so if you can involve somebody else alongside you doing it, especially my wife, which was an incredible experience, because we got to share a lot of time together, and we made a lot of memories. And I really miss that part of it a lot. I shouldn't, because we can do that at any time, but it was so much fun to do something like that together. And so if you're thinking about doing a challenge, if you can get your family or your wife or your spouse on board, the lesson there is boy, it's so much easier to do if you have that as a unit, instead of obviously by yourself, for sure. Long-lasting lessons, without a doubt, that's going to be dependability. Before we did the challenge, I think, like a lot of people, we you go about your day, and you depend, and you expect, when you pull in to the grocery store, that you can fill your shopping cart full of any kind of food you want, and you can exchange your currency for the food. And that's the expectation that people have on a daily basis in this place we live in, and we depend on that. It becomes a normal thing. When you turn that around, and then you depend upon yourself or maybe another person for your sustainability on a daily basis, it's a good exercise in just life in general. And there's not a day that goes by since I've done the challenge that I haven't thought about how I can exercise being more dependable on myself, and less dependable on the normal way of how everything is now. What's my new plans? Well, it's October now, which means we've got school started back up, so we're in the school routine again. We've got football season has started, so that's good. And hunting season, deer hunting season's 2 days away, so we've got to get ready for that. And then the most important thing right now is getting ready for winter up here in North Idaho. There's a lot we need to do. Firewood and things that need to be done to winterize the property, and there's all sorts of work to be done in that, and to experience a different season, and to keep practicing in some way, shape, or form that dependability upon ourselves, and even in small ways. There's lots to be done, so that's what we have to look forward to now, is maybe a heavy winter ahead of us. But other than that, just kind of taking it one season at a time, one day at a time. While you're reading all these challenges along the way, I know there's some of you out there that have thought, I'd like to do a challenge. Well, let me tell you, it's a great exercise in life, and it's a great way to test out, find out a little bit more about yourself. And if you've been wanting to do something, reach out to Karen Spencer. You can do that through www.smallsteps.website. You don't have to know her. If you don't know her, get on the website, email her, send her a message, tell her who you are, pitch your idea to her, and once you do that, it commits yourself and motivates, gives you that motivation to do the challenge. And if you can get other people involved, even better. And it is extremely satisfying, and I want to know about it. I look forward every Monday to reading about the next person's challenge. So I'll be out there looking for you on that next 30-day challenge. So are you ready for your challenge? We'll see you soon.